Derrick F Walker Jr. writes, "Is it time for the world to realize that the Hemsworth brothers are not leading actors? Their box office numbers prove it. Everything Chris does is a bomb unless he's playing Thor, and to be honest, his brother just can't act."
Yeah, well, first up, okay, well, yeah, let's talk Liam Hemsworth. I've gone on this before. I have met with and spoken with Liam Hemsworth a number of times. Super nice guy, actually, like way more down to earth than you think he would be for a guy who's considered a new generation sex symbol, has, you know, a famous family line. He's in all these big, huge Hunger Game movies. Now he's gonna be in Independence Day, whatever. He can't act. He just can't act. I mean, he's a super nice guy. I hope nothing but great things for him. And who knows? Like, hey, acting is also a skill. It's an art. You can learn and get better. And who knows where he'll be in 5, 6, 7 years? Maybe he'll be an amazing actor in 5, 6, 7 years. But right now, I just got to be honest. You're right. Liam cannot act right now. Chris, however, is a totally different situation. All the movies he's basically led 3 movies outside of Thor movies. He did Black Hat, which was terrible, just terrible film. He did Rush, which was a profitable movie. That movie actually made money, which is remarkable when you consider that nobody in North America cares about Formula One racing. And yet they still managed to make money. They made over $90 million on a film that was around $30-ish million to produce. Did well, and a lot of people thought that Chris maybe could have gotten an acting nomination for that because he was fantastic in that movie. And then, of course, he had In the Heart of the Sea.
You're forgetting The Huntsman.
Oh, and of course, The Huntsman, which made money.
And they're making a sequel.
Yeah, which they're making another one and made money. And with the problems that I had with The Huntsman, Chris Hemsworth is never one of those problems. Had more to do with Snow White than anything else. But so here's the thing, though. When you look at movies like Black Hat or In the Heart of the Sea, the question isn't, well, that movie had him in it and it failed to make money. Yeah, but I guarantee you this. Black Hat was a bad idea from the beginning. You have almost anybody else star in that movie, it makes less money than it did, and it bombed. But you put in, maybe there's 1 or 2 other guys you could put in there, might have made a little bit more, but that movie was never going to make much money considering how bad it was. And no matter how good of an actor you are, you're not going to take a bad movie. An actor cannot take a bad movie and make it good, no matter how good their performance is. So I believe there's enough evidence there to show, number 1, Chris is actually a very talented actor. Number 2, he can be a box office draw. The ones that have been failures so far really had nothing to do with the fact that it was Chris Hemsworth. But I completely agree with you about Liam right now. But who knows? Let's see what happens with Liam in the coming years. Maybe he takes that next step. Anyway, Mark, how do you see the Hemsworth brothers
as a new
now?
generation sex symbol myself? I think Liam and Chris, I think they both have a lot of potential as far as being on-screen presences. I think they can both be fantastic actors somewhere down the road. I think Chris is that right now. I do not think he's an A-lister at the box office. When you look at the movies he's done outside of the Avengers, you can even include that stuff because he's great in the movies and he is one of the stars of the film, but he's not what they're leading their marketing campaigns with. I didn't get that, even though he's on the posters for Rush and he's on a lot of In the Heart of the Sea. I feel like Rush was led by it's a racing movie, and In the Heart of the Sea is led by it's a whale movie about Moby Dick. Black Hat, I didn't hate Black Hat like everybody else did, but it came out in January, which is known as a dumping ground. That movie was destined to fail pretty much from the start. But when you see Thor, you don't get the feeling that this is somebody like a Sam Worthington, perhaps, or as Christian would say, a Jai Courtney, right, that it's a star that we don't want that's being shoved down our throats. And those guys are fine actors too, but I never get the feeling that we're being forced Chris Hemsworth, because every time I see him on screen, I like seeing him. And to be honest with Liam, I just don't have enough of a sample size outside of the Hunger Games, which I think he's fine in. I don't think he holds down the Hunger Games movies, the ones that he's done by himself. I haven't enjoyed that much, but I need a bigger sample size from both these guys outside of their huge franchise.
Did you see him in that movie he did with Harrison Ford and Gary Oldman?
I did.
Where he played that? Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe I should watch it again.
Yeah, what made that especially bad was that he was acting against Gary Oldman and Harrison Ford. Right. That puts you like 1 step behind. Anyway, your thought on the Hemsworth brothers?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, like you said, Liam, I don't think he's done enough, at least for me to see. Like I saw him in Hunger Games. I saw him. He was in one of the Expendables movies. Got killed really quick. But remember, it was the Bowman. It was like a guy with an archer.
Yeah, but you know,
it was a 5-second scene. Whatever.
When you run into Van Damme.
Yeah, Chuck Norris was the star of the Expendables too. Let's make no mistake about that. I don't care who else was in it.
Hey, I'm just here to sell lab equipment.
That's right.
See you guys later.
Make sure I'm in solo scenes. I don't want to be with the rest of them. I got to be killing people by myself. That's not even what he sounds like. That's a horrible Chuck Norris. This is my Chuck Norris. Hemsworth, I think he's great. Chris Hemsworth, he's a lot of fun. He's one of the parts of the horrible Vacation movie that I saw. That I thought sucked. I'm in a negative mood today. All these movies suck. No, they don't. I'm just talking about specific ones that suck, like Vacation, the new one. But he was great in it. So he was
comic gold in that.
Yeah, and I think Chris Hemsworth's next big hit will be a comedy. He should break out of the superhero action mold and do a leading man comedy role. I think that really fits him. He's funny. He's got a natural sense of humor. So I would hope that he's going to do like maybe some kind of romantic comedy or just a straight up buddy cop weirdo fun action adventure comedy like 21 Jump Street. I think he could roll right into a natural.
Take a little bit of a Channing Tatum path.
Like hang that.
It's a great
right
call
there.
because he was also really good in Cabin in the Woods too. So I mean, but both literally and figuratively, he's got a lot of muscles to flex when it comes to being on screen. We just haven't gotten to see enough of it yet.
Yeah. So I don't think it's no mistake. And I think The Huntsman, the sequel, I think a lot of people say, well, it's just like Thor. He's throwing an axe instead of a hammer. He's replaceable. He's got a lot of charisma, and I think going comedy is good for him. So
if you haven't seen his stint on Saturday Night Live, watch his stint on Saturday Night Live because he was bloody hilarious on that. And genetically, it's almost unfair. Yeah. I mean,
these guys should not be talented.
Yeah. No, like them having any talent is like just universally unfair because that's a good looking, like your boyfriend is one of these guys.
I mean,
and they bring
in
you
my
home
mind,
and you meet their brother who is like equally or even better looking. I mean, that's just not fair.
Imagine just being the Hemsworth's dad and just sitting on your porch watching them all do their Australian yard work. Just like I did that.
Yeah,
right here.
Have you ever seen the third Hemsworth brother?
No, is he good looking?
No, but
poor guy.
Hey, genetic.
Look here. No, here's not there. Is he a good-looking guy? Sure. I mean, not compared to these two, but he is like actually a very successful television actor in Australia right now, and a lot of people say he might actually be the most talented of the bunch. He just didn't get. Like he's like got the Danny DeVito side of the genetics compared to their Arnold Schwarzenegger side.
Right.
I'm being overly critical. I'm sounding more critical. I mean, he's not an unattractive
but
guy.
like you were on stage with all those guys. Like when we did that press junket with the Avengers, it was me and a bunch of other like nerd reporters. Like, we're gonna talk to Captain America, whatever. Like Thor shows up, we're like, he really is a god.
Yeah,
he really is. He's like better looking in person. We're like, I want to kill you, dude, because you're like unnaturally genetically kind of perfect. You're playing the right role. You're the God of Thunder. All right, you get it.
When I was hosting the Avengers Age of Ultron press conference, I was in there and had a couple of female reporters behind me. And I knew them when I was talking to them. And Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. are standing there. And they're just talking about, wow, these guys are so good looking, blah, blah, blah. I'm all right. And then Chris Hemsworth came in to talk to them. And he's just standing there. And then one of them says, all of a sudden, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. aren't that good looking. It was like this weird conversation.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, click here to watch the entire episode. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because it'll help you stay up to date with all the stuff we've got going on here at Collider.